Oh, how's it going, everybody? And we're back for another edition of All In, where I'll pick a rock artist and I'll listen to the entire discography and I'll give my thoughts on it. And the rules kind of go like this: the band in question must have 5 or more original studio albums. Cover albums can count. Generally, I don't talk about live or acoustic albums unless the songs to them are in that original form. So, here we go. So, this week, we're going to talk about a band that I feel doesn't get enough credit. Trivium. That's right. Kind of a little later in all the eras. They have a discography spanning from their debut in 2003, Ember to Inferno, all the way to their latest album, In the Court of the Dragon, from 2021. And supposedly, from what I've been reading, they're actually working on some new material, so we may be looking at a new release in probably around 2026, so next year as I'm taping this. If you're watching this 2 years from when I taped it, the album could be already out. So, here we go. So, getting started with Trivium. So, when did I first hear Trivium? I didn't hear them till probably, I'm going to say it's at least '07, so I subscribed to a Sirius satellite radio back then, and I actually heard them on Heart Attack. It was a song, I think it was off the Crusade album. It was Entrance of the Conflagration. That's the first song I heard of theirs, and I thought it was pretty good. So, tell you how dated this is, I went to BMG and ordered the CD. And loved the entire album, and you know, I've been really into them ever since. But I don't ever remember hearing them played on, like, regular radio. I only ever remember, like, first hearing them on Sirius. But yeah, so, as I said, how many albums did they span? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need to be more prepared here. But yeah, 10 total albums in that time. So, we'll start off with Ember to Inferno, which I didn't hear this one until, like, right when I was listening to everything to do this show. So this album is kind of new to me, but it's their debut. Way heavier and faster than the rest of the albums. At this point in time, we're sort of coming off the peak of nu metal, and this doesn't even really sound close to nu metal, honestly. So they kind of were, like, after that fact. So here we start off with Inception, The Bleeding Skies. That's like the instrumental intro. Moving on to Pillars of Serpents, If I Could Collapse the Masses, Figure of Revolution, Requiem, Ember to Inferno, great track. Ashes, which is like an intro to the To Burn the Eye. You got Falling to Grey, My Hatred, When All Light Dies, and it ends with A View of the Burning Empires. And of course, if you get like the bonus edition, let's see, you get like a few demos. But not really a bad album. I mean, it's not their best album, but I didn't hate it either. It has that kind of underground feel, so they were just kind of getting the feel for it, you know. So then we move on to this album right here, Ascendancy. This one actually dropped in 2005, 2 years later. And of course, I ordered all the ones I have on physical, I ordered from BMG, so this being one of them. So we start off with The End of Everything, Rain, Pull Under the Strings of Your Martyr, I guess that's how you say it. Drowned and Torn, Asunder, Ascendancy, the title track, A Gunshot to the Head of Trepidation. Okay, Like the Light to the Flies, Dying in Your Arms, I like that song. The Deceived, Suffocating Sight, Departure, and Declaration. And if we move on to any bonus tracks, we have Washing Away Me in the Tides, and also a kick-ass cover of Master of Puppets by Metallica. Damn good cover they did there. It's not on this CD, but it's actually a bonus track to like a later release of it. I actually had to go back and download that, but yeah, damn good stuff right here. I think they were really starting to hit their stride by this album, so love it. So then we move on the next year to 2006. We get the Crusade. So this is kind of where I first heard them, as I said before. So we start off with Ignition, then we have Detonation, then we have Entrance of the Conflagration, which, like I said, that's the song I first heard. You got Anthem, We Are the Fire, another good one. Under Pendant, we have And the Sadness Will Sear, love that one too. Becoming the Dragon, To the Rats, awesome, love that one. This World Can't Tear Us Apart, Tread the Floods, Contempt Breeds Contamination, The Rising, and lastly, the title track, The Crusade. And then, if you go into bonus tracks, you have The Broken One and Vengeance, which is not on here. But here, I feel like they really stepped it up from the last album. This is one of those albums that, like, I never get sick of. I'll pop it in, listen to every track, love it, love it, love it. So then, moving on, we have the next one, Shogun. This one in 2008. So, this is another one I first heard on Sirius. They debuted the song, I guess it's called Christnuke Gomen, or Gomen. Love that song. You have Torn Between Silent and, is it Sharbides? I don't know how you read that. Down from the Sky, To the Mouth of the Hell We March, Theros of Perdinon, Insurrection, The Calamity, that's a good one. Who Spawned the Furies, The Prometheus, and the Crucifix, like Casello to A Star in Heaven, and the title track Shogun. And then here, this doesn't have the bonus tracks, but I had to go back and download them. Poison the Knife of the Noose, Upon the Shores, and they covered the song Iron Maiden, by, of course, Iron Maiden. Great cover. And a damn good follow-up to The Crusade. I love it. Them 3 albums right there, I have them physical. I could listen to them back to back to back, not get sick of them. So, I don't have any more in physical, but we'll move on here. So, in 2011, we have In Waves. And here again, I think they sort of kept their formula like they did the last 3 albums. I liked it. I didn't really hear it until, like, just now. Maybe I got to give it more time to sink in. I don't know. But we start off with Capsizing the Sea, In Waves, Inception of the End, Dusk Dismantled, Watch the World Burn, Black, which is pretty good, The Skyline Severance, Built to Fall, Acoustic Are the Ties That Bind, not blind, Forsake Not the Dream, Chaos Reigns, Although of All These Yesterdays, Leaving the World Behind instrumental, and then, of course, if you go bonus tracks, we get like a live version of In Waves. But I didn't like it as much as Shogun, but I mean they sort of kept the same formula, so definitely a good, respectable album. Didn't hate it. So 2013, we move on to Vengeance Falls. So we start off here with Brave the Storm, Vengeance Falls, which was the title track, Strife, which was really good. I never heard that one until I heard my stepdaughter playing it in her car. She's really into this kind of music. No Way to Heal, To Believe, At the End of This War, Through the Blood, Dirt and Bone, Villainity Thrives. I love that song. Good one. Interaction, The Broken World, and the last track, Wake. And then we move on to bonus cuts. We have No Hope for the Human Race, As I'm Exploding, and then they covered the Misfits doing the songs Skulls and We Are 138. And I thought they did pretty good at that cover. Then they also covered Losing My Religion by R.E.M., which, yeah, second episode in a row that R.E.M. has been mentioned. If you watched last week or last time, we did Weird Al Yankovic. And he did a lot of R.E.M. parodies, but in this case we have an R.E.M. cover, and they did pretty good at it. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. So yeah, in the 2010s they were really busy. It seemed like every other year. So in 2015 we get Silence in the Snow. So we have Snowfall instrumental, Silence in the Snow, Blind Leading World, Dead and Gone, The Ghost That's Haunting You, Pull Me From the Void, Until the World Goes Cold, that's the popular track off of this, not a bad song. Rise Above the Tides, The Thing That's Killing Me, Beneath the Sun, Beneath the Flames, or Breathe the Flames, and then we go to the special edition, Cease All Your Fire, Darkness of My Mind. And this is where, yes, they were still heavy and everything, but they sort of started to mellow out a little bit. Like, Until the World Goes Cold, it got a lot of airplay on Octane over on Sirius. So, but still, I don't remember at this point ever hearing them on FM. I mainly heard them on Sirius. So then, 2017, we move on 2 years later than that, The Sin of the Silence. So, of course, we have the title track we start off with. Then we have Beyond Oblivion, Other Worlds, The Heart From Your Hate, Betrayer, The Wretchedness Inside, Endless Night, Sever the Hand, Beauty and Sorrow, The Raven Chest, and Thrown Into the Fire. And yeah, all in all, I mean, again, it sounds a little mellowed out compared to like the earlier stuff, but still pretty good. I don't ever remember hearing any of this album before, so it's kind of all new to me. So then we move in. We got the 2020s, so we go to their album What the Dead Man Say from 2020. So of course here, this is when COVID hit. They had already recorded it, they released it, so we have IX, or maybe it's called 9, the instrumental. What the Dead Men Say, Catastrophist, Amongst the Shadows and the Stones, Bleed Into Me, The Defiant, Sickness Unto You, Scattering the Ashes, Bending the Arc to Fear, and The Ones We Leave Behind. And then, of course, if you get like the bonus tracks, you get an acoustic version of Bleed Into Me and an acoustic version of Scatter the Ashes. And it's kind of like they followed from the last album, kind of the same formula. It wasn't like the most heaviest, but it wasn't bad either. Didn't mind it. So then, the very next year, 2021, as you guys all know, everybody was in lockdown, so guess what? They hit the studio, and they started recording more tracks. So now we have 2021's In the Court of the Dragon. That's right. So the very next year, they released another one. And so we get the instrumental 10 or X. They kind of followed that formula from the last album. Then we have In the Court of the Dragon, damn good track. We have Like a Sword Over Damocles. I guess that's how you say it. Feast the Fire, A Crisis of Revolution, Shadow of the Aperture, No Way Back, Just Through, Fall Into Your Hands, From Down the Decadence, and Phalanx. And I really feel like they got a little bit heavier in this one. Like they were a little more pissed off. So, I mean, damn good album anyway. Love it. I'm kind of interested to see what their next material is going to be like. And then it was in 2023, they released a one-off called Implore the Darkened Sky. So I don't know if this is going to be like a track we're going to find on the next album, or if it's still always going to be a standalone. I guess we'll see. But I never got to see them live or anything like that, so I only heard them in studio. Never got to see them live or nothing. So okay, so we got to talk about ratings. What do I rate them, and how am I going to do this? So I guess we'll go 2000s. Definitely we'll go 2000s, and then we'll go 2010s. Yeah, we'll just go by decade here. So 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. So of the 4 albums from the 2000s, I'm going to say my least favorite's Ember to Inferno. No, I didn't hate it. I liked it, but it didn't match up to the next 3. And as far as my favorite one from that decade, I'm going to say The Crusade. Damn good album. Highly recommend it. Okay, so moving on to the 2010s. So we have 4 albums there. So it was like every other year they were releasing one. As far as my favorite and least favorite, Least favorite would be probably The Sin and the Sentence. Not really memorable when you compare it to all the others, but I don't hate it either. I mean, if a song or whatever comes on during shuffle, I won't skip it. My favorite, I would say, In Waves. Damn good album. And then, of the 2020s, my favorite would be In the Court of the Dragon. I feel like they kind of like went back to their roots a little bit on that one. And obviously, What the Dead Men Say is my least favorite, since we only got two to choose from here. But who knows, maybe 2026 we'll have some new material, and maybe by then we'll do an all-in update on it. We'll see. But we're moving on to another band next time that doesn't get enough credit also. So if you guys ever heard of pirate metal and love pirate metal, tune in next time.